I'm Drew Stevenson. This is for my administrative law class, and this is an introductory video for our Chapter 2 or second module, which is about how the legislature or Congress exerts control over administrative agencies. In the casebook I use, this is called the legislative connection. It's called other things in other casebooks, but it's basically the different ways that Congress tries to rein in or empower the federal regulatory agencies. So let's dive in. First, the most important way that Congress controls agencies is through enacting, amending, and repealing statutes. So agencies have enabling statutes that are basically their empowerment or authorization from Congress to do certain tasks. They're given a mission and a mandate. And Congress can call an agency into existence with an enactment and can abolish an agency by passing a statute. That's pretty rare, but it can happen. More common are amendments to statutes, and these can either broaden the powers or narrow the powers, give new things to the agencies to do, or require the agency to go through more procedural steps when they do certain things. For example, revoking a license or permit or approving someone for public benefits. And so all of those things will be binding on the agency and end up affecting what an agency can do. The other statutory consideration are sunset provisions. These are embedded often in an agency's enabling statute and require reauthorization usually every decade. This means that Congress, if they don't quite have the political will or they're not sure about that they have the votes to repeal the agency's enabling statute, they can just do nothing and let it expire when it comes up for reauthorization. Usually it's reauthorized with a perfunctory vote and often with very little or no congressional debate and no media attention. But once in a while, there's an agency that has generated a lot of public controversy. And so when they come up for reauthorization, there will be media attention and congressional debate about whether to keep going with that agency. And remember, all Congress would have to do is let it expire and the agency would cease to exist in that case. Another important type of legislative control is through the budget or appropriations. And so Congress can make budget cuts to an agency that's out of favor or the party in control of Congress doesn't like. They can essentially defund the agency or give the agency so little funding that the agency can only triage or has a bare bones staff and can't really do very much. Another thing that happens are budget riders that get added to the annual budget that are very specific spending prohibitions or authorizations. So, for example, there's a number of budgetary riders that apply to the Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives Bureau, commonly known as ATF. And that where they've basically decided that they didn't like a particular program that ATF was doing. Instead of repealing the statutory authorization, they just put in a one sentence or two sentence rider in the annual budget saying the ATF is not allowed to spend any of their allocation or apportionment on carrying out that program, and it basically closes it down or renders it defunct because the agency can't do it. The other thing to keep in mind is that Congress has these committees and subcommittees that provide oversight of the way our government works. And these committees will call in agency heads for hearings. Sometimes these hearings are televised and they're very confrontational at times if there's a partisan issue at stake with something an agency is doing. Agency officials find these very stressful. They know that the people who are calling them in for a hearing also control their budgets. And so if things go well, they might get a budget increase in the following year. If things go poorly, they might find themselves subject to budget cuts. There's a few other ways that Congress can exert control over agencies. One is Senate confirmation of agency directors. These are the people that the president nominates or appoints to head up agencies. And the Constitution requires that those are done with the advice and consent of the Senate. So at least the Senate gets to weigh in and can say no to an agency director that the president has picked. There's also the option of impeachment of agency directors, but this is rare. It has happened a few times in history, but it's pretty rare. And then there's a statute called the Congressional Review Act that we will talk about later in this chapter. And this is a type of legislative veto. If you remember doing a case about legislative vetoes in your constitutional law course, this was in response to that case to accommodate what the Supreme Court required. And for many years, this wasn't used much at all. In the last 10 years or 12 years, it has started to be, Congress has started to use it a lot. These are simple resolutions, so they don't get sent to committees and go through the protracted process that a new bill would go through. These are resolutions that go through both houses disapproving of a certain agency plan or recent agency regulation that was promulgated, something like that. So they can basically disapprove of a specific agency directive. It has to be signed off by the president, and then the agency is bound by that and can't do that thing that there was a congressional resolution passed by both houses and signed by the president saying that they can't do. And that concludes our quick chapter introduction about congressional powers over agencies.